From Trish flashing in front of Vince to DX using a real-life warning to produce one of the most memorable segments ever, I'm back with another episode of TV-14 moments that would never air in WWE today. Going through the rich history and library of WWE, there are segments that I wish WWE could do all over again. Then, there are segments that I'm thankful will remain in the past forever. And the reason why either of those can't happen is because of the PG rating. You know the drill. Here are more TV-14 moments that I dare the company to put on TV again. Let's get right into it. The gesture that got Mickie James in trouble. It didn't matter if she was in TNA or WWE, Mickie James has had a successful career. She brought out the best in her opponents inside the ring and made them look like $1 million. Mickie will be inducted into the Hall of Fame because of the excellent career she had in WWE. However, Mickie has seen herself in some rough spots as well. At WrestleMania 22, Mickie faced Trish Stratus for the WWE Women's Championship. The storyline saw Mickie develop feelings for Trish, and the woman was obsessed with Trish. Unlike these days where women get enough time to have a great match, the female stars of the past didn't get much time to have a compelling match. However, Mickie and Trish made the most of the 9 minutes they were given, and despite being a heel, Mickie was adored by the crowd. But it wasn't the action in the ring that fans remember today. Mickie took things a step further when she touched Trish's crotch and proceeded to make a V gesture with her tongue licking her hand. Mickie thought that Vince might have loved this little act, but Vince was furious at her. Mickie was so distraught that she thought that Vince would fire her for it, but nothing like that happened. Instead, Vince ordered the gesture to be edited out of the match before it was made available for fans to rewatch. I can't imagine seeing the female stars of today doing anything remotely close to this. Vince might have been mad at Mickie, but he has done so much on TV with Trish. Trish flashes for Vince. Considering the recent lawsuit against Vince McMahon, I don't think WWE would ever be mentioning Vince's name in any capacity. And the more I think about it, some of his raunchy segments of the past would be looked at in a different light today. Nevertheless, Vince and Trish have had some strange segments that I have covered in our previous videos. This one is a bit different. If you know anything about Vince, it is that he can go to extreme lengths to compete with anybody. WWE has done a lot to compete with Monday Night Football for ratings, but nothing comes close to what Vince came up with. Vince parodied an NFL commercial that also involved Shelton Benjamin. Trish, in a towel, tried to get Shelton's attention, but before anything could have happened, Vince showed up. Like always, in the end, Trish took off her towel and flashed right before Vince's eyes. Vince took Trish in his arms, looked directly into the camera and uttered,
"Are you ready for some wrestling?"
I don't think this was the kind of wrestling fans tuned in to see. WWE is so competitive, but I don't think Triple H would have produced something like this that would get the company a ton of heat. One of Vince's closest friends also got to experience something like this. John Cena and Candice Michelle. Michael Cole's greatest of all time, Mr. John Cena. John has accomplished so much in his career, and he has been a part of legendary feuds and matches. However, the one thing John will forever be known for is his promos. He is one of the greatest talkers in the history of the business, and the dude knows how to take a feud to the next level. John feuded with Kurt Angle once again in 2005 after he won the WWE Championship, and on an episode of Raw, John decided to do something different. He went around backstage and asked several superstars what they thought about Kurt Angle. Cena went inside the women's locker room without any hesitation and asked the ladies if they thought Kurt sucks. We didn't get any answers, but we did get Candice Michelle. Candice hopped in front of John, took off her towel, and asked if she sucks. Cena's expressions were everything, and it was hilarious from start to finish. Just like Vince's segment with Trish, WWE won't be allowing his female talent to flash in front of anybody. Cena was a lucky dude though. DX uses a real warning to have some fun. DX is one of the best stables of all time, and that's because they didn't give a damn about what Vince thought of their segments. The group did whatever they liked, and the fans loved every bit of it. Now, what you're about to hear is absolutely real and hilarious. The USA Network was pissed that DX was allowed to do segments and say certain words that weren't suitable for a family TV show every single week. The company received a warning letter from the USA Network, and Vince knew that Raw would be taken off of the network had DX not stopped. Vince threatened to fire Shawn Michaels and Triple H, but the duo had a great segment in mind. They convinced Vince to let them use real-life warning letter to produce a segment that saw DX in this presidential campaign skit. In the skit, the group sarcastically apologized to the USA Network and went through the entire list of words that they were banned from using. Shawn, in the end, took a dig at Bill Clinton's sex scandal, and his delivery was brilliant. The rating for that segment was through the roof, and the USA Network was over the moon about the entire situation. They loved every minute of it, despite their initial warnings against it. However, with everything being so sensitive these days and WWE partnering up with Netflix in 2025, the company can't produce a segment like this anymore. It sucks, am I right? Lunchtime suicide. This just screams lack of creativity. Vince really knew how to surprise the audience with dumb ideas. In late 2005, WWE decided to feature referee Tim White in segments that saw a depressed and drunk Tim commit suicide in multiple ways. The first segment saw Josh Matthews interviewing Tim in a bar where a drunk Tim took out a shotgun and tried to end himself. From that point onwards, WWE began airing segments titled Lunchtime Suicide, where Josh would interview Tim and Tim would try different ways to commit suicide. I don't even know why the company thought they needed to air segments like this, and they sure as hell would not be trying something like this again, considering how mental health issues have reached an all-time high. Please don't involve referees in idiotic segments ever again. That's it for today, my friends. Now it's your turn. What's the most outrageous TV-14 moment you have seen in WWE? Let us know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to subscribe for more.